Kingdom's under attack! Again! Another episode of Two in the Kingdom. We are going to have Abner Haynes on, but it will be on a separate episode. We had a pretty lengthy interview that we had with him, so
amazing.
You guys definitely, if it hasn't been posted yet, keep an eye out for it being posted. Very, very interesting conversation that we had with Abner.
And now we got our first in-studio celebrity guest. He is the 2002 Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee. Few people know that I was the 2003, so this is my predecessor, longtime friend, the one, the only, Lynn Weirdwolf Smith. And for everybody at home, that's not a tornado drill going on here or a fire drill, that's our Weirdwolf with the famous wolf pack howl.
Kept it toned down for in here today.
So how are you doing today,
Plus
Lynn?
I'm getting older and the voice doesn't peak as well as it did. So doing good, Ty, doing good.
Awesome.
Happy to be here on Two in the Kingdom.
Yeah, thank you. It's our pleasure, man. This is something that the fans have wanted. They wanted you, and now they get you without the makeup, and now everybody knows who you are.
Yes, that's the Gene Simmons exposure kind of deal that we're doing here.
Absolutely.
The reveal has finally happened, and now you can really see why I put face paint on. That's the important part.
Funny story, when I got inducted in the Hall of Fame, I got to Canton, Ohio, because I was at River Falls for the previous week, and I got there late. All of a sudden, this guy comes up and starts talking to me, showing me the ropes. I'm like, wow, this guy's pretty cool. I have no clue who this is, but he showed me the ropes, and then it wasn't until we were sitting at a table with a bunch of Bear fans that I realized that was Weirdwolf. I'd met you 100 times previous.
Wow, I don't even remember that. Of course, we were probably partaking at that point already. So.
Yeah, but I had no clue without the makeup that's who you were. I just thought you were like the tour guide for Canton, Ohio, making me feel welcome because I was the latest arrival there at the deal.
So you'll be coming back in costume at some point, right?
Well, we could probably work that out at some later date. Yes, the costume doesn't break out as much as it used to, but I did it in Canton, Ohio this last year at the Hall of Fame game, this 2010 induction ceremony. So we have an annual convention out there for the Miniature Football Coaches Association, which is electric football, which is what all these little guys in front of you are. So we do that on a regular basis out in Canton, and this year I actually got dressed up and harassed a number of Bengal fans.
Very nice, very nice.
Now, will you be pulling it out of retirement at all for any games at all this year?
Yeah, I try to do at least one or two. Yeah, I don't know if I'm officially retired. It's just gotten busy with other things in life and the children and that kind of stuff. So, my son Joe. So, but yeah, one or two games we'll probably pull out the Weirdwolf again. I'd still love to do it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
let's talk some Chiefs football.
Absolutely.
And real quick, X, I was going to tell you, we got, and I believe this is a buddy of yours that we got an email from on Two in the Kingdom, as we're trying to continue to bring people in from all the states and all over the world. But a guy named Eddie Goldford.
Absolutely. Lynn knows Eddie very well.
Remember
Eddie that used to go around with me? 6'4" black guy.
Yeah.
Looked like he could play.
I remember Eddie, yeah.
He's from the Czech Republic, and is a big fan, so thought that was pretty cool. We also met a couple guys from Australia when we were tailgating this week, so we'll be hopefully actually being able to bring them in studio before long. Very Australian.
Yes, very Australian.
And
Foster's Australian for beer.
And I got a message from a guy, another guy from Australia that watches the show, and really wanted to let us know that he's there and that he's doing everything he can to continue to get other fans there in Australia.
Why we do the show is so we can provide some that they don't obviously get over there.
Well, that way you're not just reading it. It's not because I mean the things like AP and stuff like that are great for getting news and being able to interact by typing and we're trying to provide that alternative where this is something where you can see things and visually do it. So okay, let's talk about the last game.
Oh wow. We finally got to see defense for the first time in a long time at Arrowhead. We've got 5 sacks in game, and
5 sacks.
If we break down the numbers the last 2 years ago, 2 years ago we set an NFL record for 10 sacks in 16 games.
Right.
Last year we only had 20 sacks. We doubled it, but still 5 sacks in one game, and that's the Romeo Cornell effect. We're gonna see pressure coming from these linebackers, and we saw Studebaker with 2 sacks and Demario Williams with 2 sacks. We got 4 sacks from our linebackers, which is something that we haven't seen in a long time. And me and Lynn going back in the '90s when our fandom really hit its skyrocket.
Defense.
It was
that's Chiefs.
Yep, it was. That's what made Arrowhead so great was the crowd noise, and it was because we were behind that defense. We had Derek Thomas and Neil Smith and Hasty and Carter, all those great guys that fueled that defense, and it's what fueled Arrowhead. So it was exciting to see that finally come back, and we also got a turnover too.
Yep,
Granted, we gave up 2 more again. At least we cut it down from 3 to 2.
But most of what happened was bad in the beginning of the game, and then everything changed. I mean, we did win the game. There was 10 giveaway points that we handed at the beginning. We held them in the end after that touchdown to 3 points. And for all intents and purposes, our starters definitely, we won the game.
Yeah,
we walked out of that game with the starters in the lead, having come up from a 10-0 deficit.
That first quarter scared me to death.
Yeah.
I was really worried. Oh no, here we go again. That's what I was starting to think. But boy, I've never seen them come back like that in the most recent years. They really have come back with that.
Yeah, they, in past years they would have just laid down and it had been another thump down, but they pulled their boots up by the straps and went to work, and this is just a couple minutes in the first quarter. Yes, we spot them 10 points, but we're still going to beat them. They come back, and like you said, when they left, they were up 14-10.
Yep.
And we saw great things, on both sides of the ball, and special teams again. Seeing McCluster out there doing returns, and Arenas is still doing an amazing job. It's not like a couple of years ago where our returners couldn't even get it to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, that was the thing about these guys, is they're right up the field. There's none of this side-to-side business. They are flying straight up the field, cutting through blocks, and it was beautiful to see for a change.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of hope for those guys.
And the thing is,
the 12th man turned up too, man.
Yeah, the crowd noise, when you got defense, they're going to get loud, you know. And they were. For a preseason game, we were still loud in the third quarter, for the most part.
Yeah, I saw a lot of interaction. I saw the players really feeding off of it. When they were down in the end zone on the side that we were at, I mean, they were really, the players were into the noise. You could tell that it was, the crowd was, they were turning up as the 12th man.
Yeah, and that's something you don't see in preseason games usually. Usually it's the first series or whatever, and then everybody just kind of sits back and watches what goes on and stuff. But with the defense flying around and making plays, and they were hitting like no other out there too. There was some pops.
There was definitely an intensity that you didn't see, and it translated across on TV when you went back and watched the game later on NFL Network. There was an intensity there that just wasn't there last year.
No, or the year before.
Right.
For a couple of years now.
It's we're at the beginning of something. I keep saying it. We keep saying it. That we're at the beginning of something great again. And whether that translates into a West win or not this year, I mean, I think that we have that possibility. But I think that we definitely have we're looking at least 7 and 9, and possibly much better as far as our chances going. And seeing the year after that, and if we avoid the lockout.
Definitely improvements are taking place. You can definitely see that going on all aspects of the game again, and watching these guys perform. And I think the offensive line will be better, and our running back situation looks really good. Other than that, that one odd fumble, but Thomas Jones hasn't fumbled in.
Yes.
Like one in 2 years, or something like that.
He's done 7 the last 3 years, and he's lost 2 of them.
Right. So
it's my editor from a newspaper column said that happens less than seeing a Haley's Comet. That's not the Coach Haley reference, but it doesn't happen very often. thank goodness it happened in the preseason, not the regular season.
Exactly. So what are we expecting to see? And obviously it's the 4th preseason game. We're not going to see the starters
We're not going to see much.
But what do you think happens with Green Bay overall?
You know, we're going to see a lot of the young kids that we've drafted, or not so much drafted, undrafted rookies, the kids fighting for a job, you know, those players that are on the fringe. They're going to see a lot of game time in this deal, and they're fighting for a job. You know, this is their chance to showcase their talents and say, hey, you don't want to cut me, you want me to be a part of your 53-man team. So they're auditioning for that, and then even if they don't make the 53-man roster, they're still auditioning for practice squad for either us or another team. So these guys, you know, this is their chance where they're going to get a lot of game time. So that's what we'll be watching and seeing in this game.
Well, I'll tell you the most exciting thing about this coming Green Bay game is it is the last game before we see the Chiefs premiere at Arrowhead Monday Night Football. It's this close.
That's going to be blast.
We are there,
almost there.
Yeah,
that's going to be an exciting night, and the Chiefs are going to win.
Absolutely.
It's a done deal.
This is X Factor of the game. Last week I hit it pretty much dead on. I said our linebackers and our young secondary was going to be the X factors of the game. We had 4 sacks with our linebackers, and our coverage was unbelievable, holding Kevin Cobb to 103 yards passing through 3 quarters. This week I'm going to go a different deal. There's going to be a lot of young kids out there playing this week. So my X factors, of course, the easy one's going to be a guy like Jeremy Horn, wide receiver from UMass, that's looked really good during camp. But I'm going to go with the big old fat boys up front. I'm going to go with John Oswald, rookie out of Illinois. I'm going to go with Colin Brown, second-year tackle out of Missouri. I'm going to go with Barry Richardson. Because these guys are going to open up holes for the #1 ranked preseason rushing offense with 150 yards a game. So let's get these big old boys, open up some more holes for them, and that's going to be the X factor of this game, because we're going to run it down the Pack's throat.
Rock Chalk Champion of the Week, and this week it's not a player. In the tailgating area at the Eagles game, I want to put the Rock Chalk Champion out there as 2 individuals that were fans. I only had $20 on me trying to get tickets, and somebody heard that as they were walking past. I had a guy force $10 into my hand and said, get some tickets. So it's an anonymous guy. I wish I knew who you were, but sir, you're truly a part of the kingdom, and thank you. And secondly is a guy that was trying to get rid of one of his tickets, just give them away, and refused to give it to any of the guys around there that are there to make money. Said he wanted to give it to a fan. Ended up handing it to me, and I gave him the $10 that the guy had given me. But those are the guys in the kingdom. Those are the ones that are the true fans. And so for this week, they're my Rock Chalk Champions of the week. All right, another episode finished. Unbelievable. And then again, stay tuned for the Abner Haynes thing.
Yeah, we had a Chiefs Hall of Fame.
Abner right Haynes. There, Dallas Texan.
And we had Pro Football Hall of Famer and Weirdwolf. Just unbelievable show. You know, 2 Hall of Famers on the show once. Well, 3 if you want to count me.
Okay, well, stay tuned. We got Green Bay coming up, and then we got Monday Night Football on September 13th. So
absolutely.
Stay tuned to 2 in the Kingdom.
There'll be more from 2 in the Kingdom. This is Weirdwolf signing out.